Some people walk around like they own the streets, but with their puffed chests and loud mouths. Sometimes they have zero clue who they're messing with. These self-proclaimed tough guys think picking on random people makes them look strong, until they mess with someone who actually is.
Just find my keys, I run out of the house, I jump in my...
Because every now and then, fate serves up a brutal reality check in the form of a trained fighter who doesn't play games. So, buckle up as we dive into jaw-dropping moments when street bullies got absolutely destroyed by pro fighters. Let's get into it. Number 15. Former UFC fighter Keith Jardine fights a thief who stole from his mailbox.
Just find my keys, I run out of the house, I jump in my Bronco and I chase down the street after him.
Jardine, who is a lean, mean, 185-pound fighting machine, cut the thief off, jumped out, made like he was going to punch the driver. The driver gave up. He is identified as 39-year-old Richard Davenport, seen in the corner of this picture that Jardine took. Davenport claimed that he was just picking up mail for a friend, but police reportedly found a lot of other people's mail in Davenport's car. He does have a criminal history that includes burglary. Federal agents from the Postal Inspection Service are now investigating the mail thefts.
So, some random dude decides it's his big brain moment to steal mail. Like, bro really thought he would get rich off coupons and electricity bills. But here's the plot twist. That mailbox belongs to Keith Jardine, former UFC fighter. Yeah man, basically unlocked hard mode life edition. Jardine spots him mid-heist and instead of dialing 911, he goes full real-life boss fight. He calmly walks over like, hey man, what you doing? The thief tries to play it off, but Jardine's built differently, so one step closer, and it's game over. He thrashes the dude effortlessly, and it's like gravity suddenly decided to do overtime. Because Jardine doesn't even need to throw hands. He just restrains the guy like he's teaching a seminar called How to Regret Life Choices in 10 Seconds. And get this, Jardine could have gone full octagon rage, but he didn't. He just held the guy down, cool as ice. As a viewer, we were in awe. It felt like a live UFC rerun. Jardine later joked that he wasn't mad, just disappointed. So yeah, never steal from a UFC fighter unless you're trying to speedrun your way to Regret City. Number 14. John Jones stopped a robbery hours before his win over Mauricio Rua.
What's going on? So I'm like, okay, it's time for me to take action. So I take my hands in my pockets, I throw my stuff on the floor, and I tell our driver, I'm like, dude, take care of my stuff. I throw it on the floor, and I just start running, right? And you know I got these gazelle legs, so I'm running, right? And I'm running, and next thing you know, I catch up to my coaches, and I'm jogging, and they're just sprinting, right? I'm like, so what are we doing? We gonna catch this guy? And he's like, John, you get back. He's like trying to swim move me, like get over me. He's like, get back. You don't need to be involved with this, right? And I'm like, nah, Coach, God, trust me, man. I'll be okay. So then I put the Jets on, I went TO on him. So I put the Jets on, and I catch up to the guy. I'm like, how you doing? You think you're gonna be? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So anyway, so the guy, I'm like closing in on this guy about 20 yards away. And the guy's like, you can see that he's starting to get winded. So he's like, he got this stuff and he's running. And he looks back and he usually sees me, 6'4". You got Greg and Wink like behind us. Yeah, Greg and Wink's behind me and I'm just running like, I'm gonna catch you, right? So the guy looks back and then he trips over his own foot. And so at the time he tripped over his own foot, I got so scared because I didn't know what I was gonna do when I actually caught him. So I actually started barking like, I'm gonna get you, like, So the guy's like, he looks back and like, oh crap, but he's trying to stand up. And when he was standing up, I approached him when he's like in a, in your march cassette go type of stance, because he's like trying to get his momentum back. And one of his behind feet, I just came up with my foot and like scooped it out from under him with my foot, like just kicked him from the back, like kind of kicked his ankle out. And he fell down, and when he fell, he like, scraped his hands up pretty good. And so he's down on the floor, and I'm thinking like, I hope I don't get stabbed right now. So I'm just like looking at him like, should I ground and pound him? And Greg Jackson just comes out of nowhere and jumps on the guy's back, and he starts speaking Spanish, like, and like, I'm like, you know Spanish? All right, so I'm like, let me do something, right? So I grabbed the guy's feet, and then I put him in this move, because I went to college for criminal justice, and I had a class defensive tactics. So I grabbed him, and I like figure four'd his legs, and I sat on his legs, and he's screaming at us, and Greg's like, speaking Spanish. So as I'm sitting on this guy's leg,
John Bones. Johns was literally meditating before his big fight. Breathing, exercise, peace, and tranquility. Then, out of nowhere, he hears a woman scream, "He stole my bag." most people would freeze, but not Jones. That this man activated side quest, unlocked energy, and sprinted after the thief as if it were round 5 for the championship belt. Within seconds, he tracks the guy down, tackles him with surgical precision, locks him in what's basically a human pretzel, figure 4, leg lock, WWE style. The dude was kicking, flailing, begging, but Jones just held him steady until the cops showed up. No punches, no kicks, just pure dominance. When the officers arrived, the thief's gift was already gift-trapped and ready for pickup. Jones even laughed it off later, saying it was his pre-fight war. Just imagine that. Men's out here multitasking, training for his match, and doing community service. Number 13. At Jiu-Jitsu, purple belt heroically saves a woman from an attacker. This one has a straight superhero vibe. No cape, no dramatic soundtrack. Just one calm dude with jiu-jitsu skills that could humble Thanos. A woman was being attacked in public, and everyone else was frozen like NPCs then. This jiu-jitsu purple belt walked in like it's time to film a live tutorial. He didn't yell, he just took control with clean moves. And within seconds, the attacker face planted onto the pavement. The whole takedown was smoother than a TikTok transition. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. The attacker was trying to resist, but this guy transitioned so fluidly that it looked like everything was choreographed. When the cops arrived, the purple belt was like, yeah, he's all yours. It looks like the attacker got a free lesson in why you should never pick the wrong target. Number 12. 13. A 13-year-old jiu-jitsu champion girl fights off her attacker. Bro, just imagine thinking you were the big bad guy and then realizing mid-fight that you just messed with a 13-year-old jiu-jitsu champion. That's instant karma in 4000. This young queen was walking home when a grown man tried to grab her, but she had been training for exactly this kind of nonsense, so the dude lunges, and she dodges like Neo from the Matrix. He grabs his arm and sweeps him clean. Next thing you know, he's on the ground in full panic mode. Her moves, her energy, it was all so iconic. She locked him in control, kept him pinned while yelling for help, and by the time bystanders arrived, the attacker was already lying on the ground, folded like a deck chair. This tiny powerhouse just neutralized a grown man with perfect technique. The attacker literally looked like he wanted to uninstall life. Number 11. A drunk guy disturbs everyone in the bar and gets a lesson from a world champion.
This drunk guy trash-talked to a world champion kickboxer and regretted it immediately. You see, this guy was bothering everyone in the club by being loud and touching girls.
He was f***ing with Joe and everybody else the whole time.
This kickboxing and Muay Thai world champion was in the same club, trying to go to the bathroom. He tries to go past the dude that gets in his way by saying, "Excuse me," and gently moving him aside, which the drunk guy replies with, "Hey, pussy boy, is there a fucking problem?" Joe instantly turned around to confront him. The drunk guy flinched at Joe, pretending he wanted to fight, but little did he know he was facing a trained striker.
That's the wrong guy.
As soon as Joe Schilling saw the flinch, he hit a 1-2 that sent him to the Shadow Realms. Then he yelled at him, although the guy was already out, and controlled himself to not punch him again, and then walked away like if nothing had happened.
Drunk guy started yelling, bumping into people, acting like he was the main character in a fight movie. Everyone was annoyed, but one of those random guys in the crowd was a legit world champion fighter. Yeah, plot twist of the century. The champion was just trying to relax, but the drunk just wouldn't quit. So, he gets in his face, slurs some threats, spills a drink, and that's when fate decides to intervene. One shove too far, and boom, the fighter barely moved. Just one crisp counter, and the drunk folds like cheap origami. Pure silence. The bar collectively sobers up in half a second. Moral of the story, Don't test strangers, especially ones who look way too calm. Number 10. Boxer destroys street thug at North Park Mall. A man in North Park turned a regular day of shopping into a live-action fight night. Some wannabe tough guy started a fight with a dude he thought was just another shopper. Spoiler alert, the shopper was a professional boxer. At first, the boxer was chilled, hands down, giving the guy a chance to calm down. But no, the thug swung. Well, that was a bad idea, because what happened next was pure poetry. The boxer slipped every punch like he was dodging rain, and then the thug dropped instantly. Dude's body hit the floor before his ego could even process what happened. Everyone in the mall froze, as if it were the new Rocky movie. Number 9. FU master embarrasses and throws a bully on a subway train. Have you ever seen someone act so confident that you just know karma is waiting around the corner? That's this bully on the subway. The guy was bumping into people, throwing fake tough guy energy as if it were a TikTok challenge. He locked eyes with this chill-looking guy with headphones on. Well, that was his big mistake, so bully steps up, starts pushing and talking loudly, but everyone's trying to pretend they don't see his typical subway etiquette. But this guy, he's not ignoring him because he's scared. He's ignoring him because he's calculating his own moves. Next thing you know, and one slick movement later, the bully is doing a full 180 flip midair, landing flat on the floor like someone just hit the reset button. Everyone froze, some gasped, and some recorded the moment. The Kung Fu master just adjusted himself and went right back to vibing like nothing happened. The bully, meanwhile, had to figure out what kind of Wi-Fi lag just hit his body. You can tell he's replaying the movement in his head. The most embarrassing part is that the bully had to continue with the remaining ride, staying in the same train as the guy who had just knocked him out. Number 8. A pro wrestler throws a street thug to the ground. Some fights feel like trailers for instant regret, and this one's a whole movie. A wannabe tough guy starts barking at a dude way bigger than him. The thug's hyping himself up thinking he's about to start in Fast and Furious. Meanwhile, the pro wrestler just trends their expression less like he's waiting for his protein shake to finish blending. Then, the thug takes one step too close, and in a blink, the wrestler's hands are on him. A full body slam that echoes through the street. You can hear the oxygen exit this man's existence. The whole thing happened so fast it's like a glitch in real life. And the wrestler didn't even flinch. No flex, no yelling, just walks away like he forgot to turn off the stove. The thug was trying to crawl back up, but his body clearly didn't sign up for that kind of drama. If there were a regret button, he would definitely be mashing it. So, next time you see a giant dude minding his business, maybe let him keep minding it. Number 7. Aussie. Pro fighter handles multiple street punks at once. Pro fighter from Australia was just chilling when suddenly 3 clowns decided he was their entertainment for the day. 2 guys and a girl, clearly fueled by poor choices and bad energy, started mouthing off. The fighter's calm and polite, giving every chance to walk away. But nah, they are committed to the chaos. The first punk swings, completely witless, and before he even processes it, bam, he's on the ground reconsidering his life plan. The second guy thinks he's the hero of the story and jumps in. 1 punch later, he's out cold like someone hit his factory reset. And the girl, she was talking the loudest at first, but in the end, she stood there, realizing this wasn't TikTok beef. It was a live demonstration of humility. And the Aussie fighter didn't chase, didn't brag. He just stood there because, to him, that was basically cardio. Meanwhile, the punks scattered like pigeons after realizing they had picked a fight with a human weapon. Number 6. Bully starts an argument with a pro fighter. Gets brutally knocked out. Bars and bad decisions go hand in hand, and this moment proves it. This dude thought he was the alpha of the night, so he started talking trash to a stranger at the counter. Unfortunately, the stranger happens to be a trained professional who gets paid to end fights quickly. The fighter tries to stay cool. He says, "Bro, relax. Not tonight." But the bully keeps pushing, getting in his face, chest out, all hyped up from the drinks he had already gulped. Then the swing happens. It's sloppy, it's desperate, and it's the last move he gets to make. The fighter doesn't even look mad. He just reacts. 1 clean counter, a twist, and the bully is suddenly horizontal, staring at the ceiling like he's rethinking every life decision. Number 5. Bully tries to pick on a stranger. Pro fighter tosses him around like a rag doll. It's always the quiet ones that surprise you. A loud bully is out in public, picking random people to harass, trying to boost his ego at everyone else's expense. So he spots this chill-looking guy, probably in his late 20s. He shoved him, laughed, and the crowd was watching, waiting for drama. But what they got instead was a physics lesson. A guy entered the scene who turned out to be a pro fighter, and the scenario triggered beast mode. 1 second, the bully was standing. The next, he was airborne, flipped and slammed into the pavement like a rag doll. Just remember, who's boss? The bully was left looking like a YouTube tutorial had just hit him on how to lose a fight in 1 move. Number 4. UFC fighter yells back at the street fighter who we tried to intimidate him. That one clear sign that someone has never been in a real fight is when they start yelling first. This street dude tries to square up against a UFC fighter, chest out. voice loud. Thinking intimidation equals skill. Well, bad logic, bro, because this fighter has seen way scarier people in training. The crowd sensed the storm coming. The wannabe tough guy just kept getting louder. Stepped forward, and that was when the fighter flipped the switch. One step forward, one push, and suddenly the intimidator's confidence evaporated. You can see the fear kick in as he stumbles back, and the fighter didn't even put in any effort. It was just sheer presence in one shove, and the whole situation dissolved. That's what happens when your opponent fights in cages for a living, and you fight in comment sections. Number 3. Bully brags about his 112 street fights victory. A pro fighter humbles him. This one's hilarious. Some guys out here bragging about winning 112 straight fives, which already sounds like a lie your cousin tells after 2 Red Bulls. He was loud, cocky, and calling himself undefeated. Then, a real pro fighter stepped in seconds into the fight, and it was already obvious that he was not all that. The fighter was calm, light on his feet, and the bragger was flailing like he was trying to swat a mosquito. A few seconds later, he was gassed out, wheezing and getting tapped on the forehead repeatedly like a drum solo, and the pro was barely trying. The 112 fights dude eventually curled up, covered his face, and lost the fight. Everyone who watched this ended up cracking up. Confidence without skill is just a countdown to embarrassment. Number 2. Veteran pro fighter teaches a young bully a lesson. Age is just a number unless that number represents decades of combat experience. A young hothead was being loud, showing off, and pushing people around. Then, an older man stepped in. It turns out that the older man used to be a professional fighter. He moved smoothly than most 20-year-olds. The kid threw a sloppy punch, and the vet dodged it as if it were in slow motion. See, I respect your elders, especially those with decades of jaw-shattering experience. Number 1. Bully pushes the boxing coach, and the coach humbles him. Imagine walking into a boxing gym, a literal temple of punches, and deciding that's the place to act tough. This guy started yelling, trying to prove he's the real deal. The coach was calm but clearly annoyed and told him to leave, but the bully kept pushing him. You walk into a boxing gym and pick a fight with the coach. That's not confidence. That's a cell phone for the history books. This is what happens when fake tough guys meet the real deal. So, the next time you think starting a fight is all fun and games, maybe you should think again. If you enjoyed watching Justice Get Served, be sure to hit the like button, share your favorite moments from the video in the comments below, and subscribe for more wild moments like these. See you in the next video.